Hi guys, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a spring vegetable frittata. Frittatas are good for any time of the day, and especially if you're hosting a brunch. Mother's Day is right around the corner, and this is a recipe that you're going to want to make. So we're going to go over the ingredients and then we're going to get started. So we need zucchini for this. You could use one or two, but I love the way zucchini tastes, so I have two. Some fresh scallions. In some parts of the world they're known as a green onion or spring onion. We have some fresh asparagus, potatoes that I've sliced thinly, a roasted red pepper that's from the jar. I always have these on hand. Some crushed red pepper flakes, salt, pepper, olive oil, a little bit of half and half. Some feta cheese. I have shredded mozzarella, but you could use gouda or your favorite cheese. And then I have some eggs that are in the bowl right there. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and we're going to begin with the potatoes because I'm going to roast them in the oven while the other vegetables are getting ready. So we're just going to put some olive oil on these and season these with some salt and pepper. And we're going to pop these in there for about 15 or 20 minutes or until they're fully cooked through. And you just need a tiny bit of olive oil on this. I love potatoes in my frittata or even in my omelets. My mom, when we were little and she had leftover French fries, she would always put the French fries in an omelet and make it for us, along with any other vegetables that might have been left over, and it is delicious. I feel like potatoes and eggs and cheese go together so well. I'm just going to give this a nice mix and then season with a little bit more salt on the other side. That's it. I'm going to pop these in the oven and let them roast for about 15 or 20 minutes. So I have a 12-inch round cast iron pan that I absolutely love. It's perfect for this because part of the cooking is going to be on top of the stove and then it's going to get finished off in the oven. If you don't have one, use any 12-inch round skillet that you have, but you want to make sure that this handle is not plastic or anything like that, otherwise it's going to melt. I'm going to put it over medium heat while I prepare my asparagus. So when you're preparing asparagus, all you want to do is cut off the ends. They snip off pretty easily. They snap off, I mean. And this part right here is very hard and like woodsy, and it's not really easy to eat. So I just take them out like that, leave them on the side, and I put them in our compost bin. And I use the really nice tender part. So everything in this frittata is going to be bite-sized. So I like to cut just into small pieces, and then I'm just going to transfer these into my pan. So I'm just going to increase the heat to high or medium high depending on the strength of your flame or heat, and drizzle some olive oil, season with salt and pepper. When you're cooking, you want to make sure you're seasoning each and every step of the way, so that way you get maximum flavor. And that's going to take about 2 or 3 minutes. While that's happening, I'm going to slice up my zucchini. So you want all of your vegetables to be the same thickness. So the potatoes are sliced pretty thin, just like this. And you want the zucchini to be sliced the same thickness so everything cooks evenly. And if you wanted to do cubes, then I would do cubes with the potatoes as well. But I just really like how nice and delicate the slices are. Just like that. Also, while we're waiting, I will go ahead and cut up my jarred red pepper, my roasted red pepper, and I'm going to cut it into little cubes, just little chunks like that. And then last, I want to have my scallions ready to go, so I'm just going to slice them up. And scallions give a really nice freshness and a mild onion flavor to the dish, and we actually love them in my house. They're just delicious. What do you guys call scallions in your part of the world? Let me know in the comment section down below. I've heard spring onions, I've heard green onions. So once you get down to the really white parts, you can just pop that in your compost. Set it aside. I'm going to give my asparagus a little mix, and then we're going to be ready to add our zucchini to the pan. So once your asparagus gets a little bit of color, it really just takes just about 2 to 3 minutes. You're going to add the zucchini in. And then again, we're going to season with some salt and pepper one more time. And we're going to cook the zucchini through, not until it melts. You just want it to get some color on it and just soften up just a little bit. And that should take anywhere between 2 to 3 or 4 minutes. Next, we're gonna whisk up our eggs so they could be ready. We're gonna season again with some salt, a little bit of pepper. You can do black pepper or crushed red pepper flakes. And if you've been here long enough, you know that I love my crushed red pepper flakes for that heat. Do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. I'll put the half and half in here. That's gonna lend some nice richness. If you wanted to keep it a little lighter, you can go ahead and add milk instead, or substitute the milk for the half and half. But it's a really small amount, and this frittata feeds a large crowd, so don't worry about it. Once the eggs are really nice and whisked up, just like we did, just like this, everything is incorporated, we are just going to crumble our feta cheese in here. And anytime you're buying feta cheese, make sure you don't buy the already crumbled up one that they sell at the supermarket. It's just so salty and briny, and it's not the high quality feta. Always buy it in chunks and crumble it yourself. And we're also gonna add our chopped peppers in here, and it is ready to go. So the potatoes just came out of the oven, and if you let them sit a little bit, then they won't, get stuck to the pan. But for the sake of making this video a little bit quicker, I'm just gonna transfer them into my cast iron pan here with all of the rest of the vegetables. And we're just going to give everything a nice mix. And then at this point also, you just want to go in and taste a few of the vegetables to make sure that they're seasoned properly. So that way everything is really very, very nice and flavorful. And it needs a tiny bit more salt, just a little bit. We're going to add our scallions just so they could warm through. And then we're just going to mix in our egg. At this point, the pan looks like it needs a little bit more olive oil, so I'll drizzle in about a tablespoon or 2 of some more. Give everything a nice mix. And if you wanted to make this the day before and do some kind of like prep work to make it easier, you could totally do this step, which is like preparing all the vegetables a day before, let it cool down, put it in a container and refrigerate it, and then the next day before you're ready to prepare your frittata, just warm them through in the pan and then follow the next steps. And the next step is to just pour this lovely egg mixture in the pan. Give everything just a few stirs and mixes to kind of create like really nice curds with the egg and make everything like mix up really evenly, so you get 1 or 2 vegetables of each in every bite. Then just leave it alone, and over medium heat, let it cook for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then we're just going to put it in the oven. So then we're going to turn the heat off after 2 to 3 minutes pass. The oven is still preheated at 350 because you remember we cooked the potatoes in it. I'm going to pop this in the oven and let it cook for 15 minutes or until the top is set. Then I'm going to take it out, sprinkle the shredded cheese on top, and I'm going to switch the setting on the oven to the broil setting, and then I'm going to put it under there just until all the cheese melts and becomes nice and bubbly. So once it comes out of the oven, you want it to settle down a little bit, so let it rest for like 10-15 minutes at room temperature. Everything will settle, and then you can slice nice wedges out of it and you can serve a nice crowd. Make sure that you make this for brunch. But you know what, we've had this the past 2-3 weeks at least once a week for dinner, and if anybody tells you that you can't have a frittata for dinner, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Just, don't cook for them. That's all. That's simple. But the people that do appreciate a good, delicious meal, this one right here has everything that makes that. Now, serve this with a nice side salad or just some nice bread or even a tomato. I think tomato salad is probably the best thing you could have this with. Tomato and maybe some arugula. That sounds really, really good. Anyway, let me cut into this so I could show you what it looks like. Look at that. It's perfectly cooked, perfectly cheesy, fresh from the spring vegetables. I tell you, this time of year when asparagus and zucchini is in the market, I just want to use it in everything. I think I need to go and get myself a fork. Here it is, time to dig in. Red pepper, roasted red pepper, and just this whole combination tastes delicious. It's moist, it's very light, super flavorful from all the vegetables. I feel like the potatoes, I don't know what's my favorite because I like I like everything that's in here. But if you had some other vegetables that you like, you can go ahead and use mushrooms in here. You can grill eggplant or roast eggplant and put it in there. Let me know what your favorite vegetables to use in a frittata are in the comment section down below. Go on the website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Get this recipe, make it, share pictures with me on social media. Buy my ebook if you haven't, because this recipe is in there with a lot more. 60 whole recipes are in there. The link will be in the description box down below, as well as in my website. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.